Greetings everyone. In this video we're going to have some candid conversation about all kinds of things. Now, if you want me to go into more detail on topics like menopause or skincare or spirit, then you're going to put that in the comment section. So when I see spirit, I know you want more of that. When I see, information about menopause, we'll do a video separate on those. I promise that in 2022, we're going to focus on the positives, but that does not mean that we cannot talk about negative things in a positive way. Okay? There is a video on my channel at the moment that is doing the rounds, and I'm not engaging in the comment section so much, not because I don't respect you or I'm not grateful for the fact that you're here sharing your thoughts on that video, but usually videos of that nature, I tend to say my piece, step aside, let it do what it does, and at the end of the day, my hope is that someone can learn something from it. Okay? So if I'm not engaging with you in that, it's not because I don't appreciate you. It's just the nature of these messages. You say it, you let people express themselves, and you leave it at that. Someone made a comment that I think it's a she, is surprised that there wasn't a clapback. I'm not afraid of clapbacks. You look in my about section, and from the day I started this channel, I knew that that's the direction I was going to go in. I was going to talk about my business first and foremost, but if there were things for me to address, things or experience that I've had or understand, I was going to address it. Now, what my longtime viewers know is that I have the ability to reason like anyone else, and what I'm about to say is going to come across as arrogant, but it's not. It's confidence. My confidence in myself is that I am one of the most underestimated person on social media. Why? Because I don't seek hype. But people recognize my worth, recognize who I am, and a lot of them are afraid of me, number one. And secondly, a lot of them out there in the social media network, especially people from my country, it's their nature. They feel like if they talk about you or if they address you or recognize anything that you say to them that is of value, is going to take away from them. But I'm a very confident person. I can promote somebody who was one subscriber, and I can big up somebody who was 1 million who doesn't know me and would never know me. So confidence is one of the most important things that we need in life. Without confidence, Marcus Garvey said this, without confidence, you're twice defeated in the game of life. I'm also going to say that there are a lot of people who know how to bring the crowd, but they don't know how to keep them. For me, I know how to bring the crowd, but sometimes when the crowd come, I have to decide within myself if that's the kind of crowd that I need. And so sometimes I retreat. Sometimes I pull back and I go back into my little place where, it's just me and my few. But the truth is, I have a lot to teach. I have a lot to say. And so being shy, which is my true nature, I have to shed some of that. Because they say, when the teacher appears, what is that saying? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, right? And there are a lot of persons who are ready. Now, I have two spirits, and I'd like to say there are two spirits that I work with, but no, two spirits work with me. One is a very old woman, and when she shows up, that's what I look like, very old. One is youthful and vain, and when she's around, I show up. But both of them are powerful. And the lessons that they teach me are stuff that I would like to show or share with other people. Sometimes it's not what I'm going to say to you that is going to benefit you. Sometimes it's the things that I might do. And so throughout the course of 2022, there's a lot I will show and a lot I will teach. But at the end of the day, anything that takes me off my path, anything that causes me to get to a place where all I desire is fame, I have to roll that back. Someone said that the video that I did about, these two individuals, and she said she's surprised that they didn't clap back. I'm going to say something. If I send a message to somebody, I don't always tell them why I send a message. But you best believe that once that message goes out there, it isn't something that someone should look at and prepare a clapback. It's for them to learn a lesson and to understand that there's a lot more that I'm not saying. A lot that I see that I hold back. So, whenever you interfere in people's business, especially if you're not sent to do that, you're going to expect negativity. People are going to respond in a way that you have to accept. But I'm also going to say, once I put my story out here, why am I giving it to you? To just overburden you or to, stress you out? I'm trying to engage you in the conversation. I'm trying to share with you. And once you're sharing, expect people to respond. So I don't worry about people and their response. I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm going to share a story with you. I was invited some years ago to a Paul Bogle march. And it was one of those things that really changed my life. Spiritually, that is. I stayed up for 24 hours without sleep, trying to sort of recreate that experience with Paul Bogle. And the night of the wake, I don't know if I can call it that, but the night when we were staying up, it was so difficult. My partner was there with me, and at times when I was falling asleep, he would nudge me. He says, I will not let you sleep tonight because this is so important to you. It was like a joke to him. It was like, yeah, you want to stay up in a vigil? You're going to stay up. And imagine not sleeping for a full 24 hours and then having to walk all the way, the whole journey that Paul Bogle did, and then get on a stage and speak. That was one of the most challenging things for me. But the night when we were staying up and praying, And the night of the Kumina, I had an amazing experience. Because I'm someone who don't feel comfortable in a crowd, I'm always looking for a little spot to hide out. And so I was standing under a tree. And while they were dancing Kumina, excuse me if I'm not using the right expression, I don't, playing Kumina, I don't know what you call it, but they were singing and dancing. I was under this tree by myself. And all of a sudden, I felt rain. When I say I felt like something raining on me. And when I look at my hand, there was no water. But I felt things falling. I could hear it coming through the trees. Like pebbles, and they're hitting my face, my arms. Wherever on my body this thing landed, it felt like someone like throwing tiny pebbles. And I'm going to say that's the night I got baptized. So as a young girl, I always had dreams, very prophetic dreams. But after that experience, I didn't have to be asleep to get a dream. Now it was a vision. I started getting visions, clear as day. But what used to be silent whispers became very loud. And the instructions led me to discovering a lot of things. For example, skincare or health regimen that I developed because of these whispers. Last summer, I just laid down some brand new, the fake grass, because we have a beautiful lawn and in front of it is concrete. Had the idea about laying some fake grass in front of my doorway. And shortly after we put it down, we were also painting, and my daughter stepped in the paint and stepped on the grass, the fake grass that is, and it was a mess. I was like, I just wasted my money doing this, and I'm gonna have to throw it out. I stood there looking at it one morning, and the Spirit said to me, so you're just gonna sit there, you're not going to get rid of this thing? And I'm asking, how? Get rid of it how? And the Spirit said, olive oil. I took the olive oil with doubt, of course. I'm like, there's no way this is going to get rid of this big mess. And after I started rubbing it, it just disappeared. And while I was doing that, the Spirit said to me, now you have my permission to do this. And it's okay to earn from it. And so I started a business. And I knew it was okay. Now, I don't believe in just taking people's funds. I believe in fair exchange. That's why it's difficult for me to really take gifts. Though I have learned, to accept from people who I know genuinely care for me. But I like a fair exchange, especially in a time when there are so many scammers, in such a time when people just look at your circumstances, your painful situations in life, and prey on you so they can live above their means. We see that in Jamaica a lot. A lot of these charity programs that are growing in Jamaica are based on exploiting people's unfortunate situations. You got young people, going out there. And when they come, yes, some people benefit. And we're not talking about big charities that we see building homes and changing people's lives. We're talking about, people who deliberately go out and prey on the unfortunate. So I like that fair exchange. And before I forget, one person on this channel is going to, I don't want to say win, but one person on this channel is going to receive a starter pack from Jenny, just to say thank you for your support in 2021 and beyond. It's going to include all the things that you need to get your spirituality up, to raise your vibration, so you understand that there's more to life than what you see right now. That will include oils, incense, candles, burners. I mean, the thing to amp up the energy in your space so you can receive. Because that's what a lot of people need. No filter. For an entire year, I wore no makeup. And except for a few times when I was allowed to show my face in 2021, I just kept a low profile. No makeup. No makeup. Coming to you raw and unfiltered, without any kind of falsehood. Simple. I don't have to wear makeup to show my face. Like I said, I'm confident. I believe in taking care of myself using natural methods. Everything I use on my skin, I purchase things like these pads without fragrance that are dry, and I make my own. Products. But the reason for that is a lot of people don't realize. You see, when you're getting into prayer and fasting and meditation, you can't be wearing things like makeup. I don't care what anybody says. You have to strip yourself. No makeup, covering your head, prostrate, humility. If you really want to hear from the spirits, we all can hear from our guides, our ancestors. They come to us in our dreams. But higher level business, where you stand up, and wherever you're standing, you could fall into a deep sleep, and you could get messages where folks around you can literally see you, get downloads, and know that's what's happening to you. And when you speak, the message is so clear and it doesn't fall to the ground. So for the person who's saying, one person said karma is a bee, and I had to ask the person, why does karma have to be a bee? Why can't calm or be a buzzard. If your intention is pure, you don't have to fear what people are going to say to you when you deliver your message. It doesn't matter how much they try to ignore you or avoid you or hate you because you speak the truth. If you know you're speaking the truth and you're doing so without malice, then even when you get cussed out, things are going to happen that is going to allow the people who see them cuss you out say, oh, wow, she said this, and here we are. There's a lot more I could have said in that video, but I chose not to. And when they watch it, I hope they consider it as a gift from me. Because within all that, there is a warning. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to talk about current events. I'll share some of my own stories. But we're going to let Spirit take control in 2022. And I'm going to say that a lot of you, your unbelief is going to go right through the door. Because that is what's standing between your blessing and your spiritual awakening. There's a lot of fraudulent people out here. And I'm going to say that there are people who actually are liars. And they say, I got this power, I got this gift. But once you start even pretending that you have this kind of gift, Spirit will show up. You best believe. Please remember what I shared with you about that dream in Jamaica, that I saw thick red blood running down the drain in Jamaica. And it was the most frightening thing. And it sat with me for days. And I'm going to tell you, it's a thing that is going to happen. And now I know where this rage is going to come from, because there are two camps. But the unfortunate thing is that the two camps that are being torn apart serves only one interest. Have you ever been on a school ground and watch children play, and one child goes to the other kid and says, Johnny said this about you, and the same kid goes to the other kid and says, James said this about you, and the two persons start going at it? That's what's happening in that situation. You know, individuals pitting them against each other, and they fail to see. It's so unfortunate. One, has hind legs and is standing on it, and he doesn't realize he's just a pawn. I'm gonna leave that for now. I will go in that further on another video. So what I'm saying to you essentially is, be confident in your abilities. Recognize your power. Don't starve it. Feed it. And when I say feed it, create your environment in your household in such a way where spirits know, I can come, I'm invited. Set up your altar in your household, your space where you can go and pray and meditate and just sit quiet. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just make sure the space is set up where the elements are present. Fire, water, air, all the elements. Earth, wind, fire, water. Different ways of saying the same thing. Our true power comes not from our ability to do things with our hands or the way we think. It's about what is brought to us, instructions in our dreams, in our ability. Some people have the spirit of discernment. You have a hard time tricking me, not because I'm so intelligent, but because I'm chosen, and not just now for the social media world. If I came out here in the social media world and showed all my truth, but I want my audience to grow organically. I want the people to come because I'm producing something that they need, not what they want. But I'm changing things a little bit because I need the students. And they don't know how to find me. And so I have to put in the work so they can find me. I'm going to pause this here in the comment section. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to reach me privately, I am at Jenirren, JENNIRREN @gmail.com. And we can further our conversation. I have a website that is under construction, and when it is available, I'm available for consultation. A beautiful sister of mine is blessing me by creating that platform for me. There are things that I do that I have not shared in my real life, that is. And so I think when the website is ready, you can go over there and you can see the other side of Jenirren. Until my next video, thank you for watching and stay blessed.